Talking about homebrew. Time to do homebrew. Is my last bottle of the Beerzerker Ballz out Caskaidian Dark. Coming in at somewhere around 8% alcohol by volume. And the most definite 130 IBUs. You know what I'm saying? So, let's give it a slosh. Alright, so Caskaidian Dark Ale brewed about, I don't know, 10 months ago or something. And 130 IBU. So it's kind of a homebrew video. I'm just going to kind of like clear that up. I'm probably used to like mostly beer reviews. I got a homebrew section in the channel, so if you want to check that shit out, I got all kinds of cool shit like R2D2 kegerator, homemade grain mill, a lot of pasta maker, a bunch of fucking red green shit. So I got some ingredients here that I'm preparing for the next brew, because this is a brew from... I got a keg of ESB right now, but it's going to be gone, so time to brew another beer. So we're going to talk about the last beer that I brewed with a bit of age on it. I'm not big into aging beers, but this one, like 130 IBU, I saved one around. So we're going to taste this one out finally. And I got some ingredients here for this white IPA I'm going to brew, hopefully this week, in the next few days. And I'll be video logging that and doing the whole thing down. So if you want to check out some fucking all-grain brew shit, I've been brewing for a few years, so there's some things, some challenges that I'm trying to tackle in brewing, and there's a bunch of videos from before, and I'm basically okay at doing the regular shit, but I kind of want to move into some bigger beers, and so I'm going to be tackling those challenges of getting like bigger, like more efficiency and stuff like that out of the grain bills. I have a few things I'm going to fucking try out. Anyway, back to this beer. 2 ounces of Bravo and 2 ounces of Columbus. Both super high alpha acid bittering hops, American bittering hops. They went into the brew, so 4 ounces of that to jack me up to 130, and then I did the fucking Glacier, which is like kind of a real peaty kind of... it's an American hop, but it's more for like... Scottish ales, in my opinion. Very peaty. Go really good with brown ale, Scottish ales, stuff like that, in my opinion. And it was a bit a bittering or aroma. And then I threw in, of course, whatever Glacier, styrene Goldings I had laying around. And then I did 2 ounces of Cascade in the dry hop. And I can't remember, I might throw some other shit there too. And I oaked it with Irish whiskey. And I got some, the last the oak chips, I saved some. And this is for the white IPA. And the liquor in here was actually clear. It's triple sec. It's orange flavored liqueur. Basically, you may have had this. I think this is one of the ingredients like tequila sunrise and stuff. Is done with a lot of like tequila cocktails and shit like that. So it's 35%, so it's not real low ABV. And I thought white IPA can't hurt to give a little bit of that marmalade, orange kick, and maybe help pull out some of the oak flavors. You know what I'm saying? We're kind of making an oak extract, in my opinion. And the liquor of choice is up to you. And this is where I kind of come into brewing as like more of an art form, you know what I mean? That's how you should approach it, I think. I chose Irish whiskey for this Caskaidian Dark Ale. I think it turned out really well. I'm a fan of Irish whiskey, though. So, triple sec. In an IPA, it's like oranges, right? So, obviously, I would do that one. I wouldn't throw whiskey, oak chips necessarily in an IPA. I'm not saying it would be bad, but I'm not going to attempt it right now. On the aroma, I'm pulling on a lot more oranges than I ever pulled out of this beer before. And I aged it on the shelf, bottle conditioned, of course, for quite a few months. I threw this in the fridge in maybe the end of August. It started getting really hot, and I didn't want to like spoil it, so I threw it in the fridge. Been there since then. It's like December, beginning of December now. So it's been probably dormant since then. And when it comes to one of the biggest challenges in home brewing for beginners, especially when it comes to bottle conditioning, is the recommended dose of priming sugar is astronomical if you are not going to cold crash your beers as soon as they're ready. And I feel that I'm not brewing pop here, so fuck that. I mean, I just throw in 60% of the recommended dose. Like they give you a package of dextrose, let's say with a brewhouse kit or an extract kit for the conditioning. In those little silver packets. I can't remember how many grams is in there, but you want to use maybe 60, no more than 70% of that pack. If you're not, unless you're going to do the cold crash bullshit. As I like to let the yeast work on the beer for quite a few months before I even really want to put it in the fridge, you know what I mean? And if you put in the full amount of dextrose, you're going to have some fucking grenades, basically. And your beer is going to go all over the fucking place, so fuck that. And I like low carb beers anyway, unless you're talking about like Duval or something, certain Belgian beers. I don't mind. I'm just rambling. This is a ramble. I warned you. This is a homebrew video. This is not necessarily too much of a beer tasting, although it is totally a beer tasting on this homebrew. This is very fucking oaky. Very fucking oaky. Picking up a lot of like honey out of the whiskey. A lot of really nice Irish whiskey fucking tones out of it. And like I said, it's not, you're getting a bit of transparency around the top with this beer. 130 IBUs, and the Bravo, I'm gonna say that I'm not a real huge Bravo fan, but it's really, seemed to me, it's kind of like separate itself from the rest of the beer though, so it's kind of like the Bravo does add a layer of complexity, even though I'm kind of getting used to the flavor of Bravo, because to me Bravo tastes like old leaves and super powerful grapefruit American bittering alpha acids, and that's it. But you're getting like all this like old leaf, but that was again whole cone Bravo. Very leafy. And then the Cascade is just singing with this age. I mean, the Cascade's still there in the finish. Wow, and all through it really. And I think that has a lot to do with the Columbus. I mean, the Columbus was a really cool hop to taste. It fucking blew my head off. And I do hop tastings, so I'm going to taste out all these other hops that I have. And I have a new variety. I'm going to do an English ale again after this white IPA. So what I got for the white IPA is Horizon. And I'm going to save 1 ounce of this for the English whatever type of ale I'm going to do after. That's a 10% alpha acid hop. Pungent, powerful aroma, resin, candy, citrus with some spicy, peppery notes. It's using ales, bitters, pale ales, porters, and stouts. So that's why I'm saving 1 ounce of it for my more of a British style thing I'm going to be doing after this one. It's going to be a full-on American white IPA. US05 American ale yeast. Mostly American, or these are, I think that's probably an American. Horizon, I don't know if that's an English hop or not. That one might be. And Millennium, though, is a US hop at 15.6% alpha acids. And all of this is going in. You know me. So, high alpha acid for bittering hop. Mild herbal aroma, floral, resiny notes. Great for American-style ales, as well as stouts and barley wines. Why the fuck not? Throw it all in. And I got the whole chart there. And I'm doing the 04187 US 8.4% alpha acid. This is like, I'm assuming this is like a more for dry hoppage. This is going in after the Croissant Falls in the fermenter in a muslin bag for about a week. So we're talking about a citrusy quality reminiscent of fresh cut lemons. So we're hoping to see it transfer over to the finished cask. That's why we're throwing in after the Croissant Falls. And yeah, this is like a beer to brew to drink fresh, because I'm assuming that I'm going to run out of my ESB soon. It's cold outside, it's December, I'm in Canada, so the keg's going to be cold. Let's do fucking IPA. Next, we got the fucking Matuka, which I've already tasted out in a tasting review in homebrew channel. Or I don't know, I might have thrown it in the Beer Girls playlist. So Matuka from New Zealand, 6.7 alpha acid. I got looks like about 2 ounces here of this. This is going in after the Croiser Falls in the fermenter as well. So the white IPA should be coming up around 99 fucking in 0.5 IBUs, 99.5 IBUs. And we're talking 4 ounces of dry hoppage. So, and at least 2 pounds of pre-boiled rice, blended up in a blender into a fine liquid paste to infiltrate the beer, give it color and head retention, and I don't know head retention, but it's going to give it like this slimy, thick, dense head. I fucked around with that shit before, and it's going to make the beer appear more yellow to make it a white IPA, because I'm not using any wheat. This is not a Belgian white IPA. This is an American fucking Beerzerker white IPA. So, half ounce of Millennium at Flamin', half ounce of Horizon at Flamin'. Otherwise, I'd end up with like 150 IBUs, and I don't want to do that. So, and then half ounce of Millennium, half ounce of Horizon at 30, an ounce of Millennium at 10 minutes, and then those other 4 ounces in the dry hop, which I'm saving the other ounce of Horizon for my next beer. This Beerzerker Ballz fucking count. The Beerzerker's Ballz count here is pretty fucking good. I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. It's definitely complex enough. Maybe the US05 that I think is so awesome maybe isn't the best yeast. I don't know. So that's further on in my investigation. So far, it's definitely good enough. This is better than a lot of beers that I buy, and it's better than any fucking kit. So I was just like, don't fuck around. Like, extracts are okay until you, like, to kind of figuring out what the fuck's going on with the fermentation process and bottling and shit like that. And you don't want to, I'll say, waste barley. But the barley's actually pretty cheap, so it's just more work. So you're really not wasting money, you're just wasting time. And you can get those Coleman fucking picnic coolers at Walmart or wherever in the off season. So, you know, at the end of summer into the fall, like October, check around. You can pick those fuckers up for like $9. You know, it's not a big deal. That's like one. And a grain mill, you can. I have a fucking video on how to convert a $20 pasta maker into a fucking barley mill. 2 videos on that, so I might link those up, whatever. And that's what you need to like really make some fucking homebrew. You know, you want to actually drink. So. I tried all the extract stuff. And I think the bag of wort is worse because of the acids they put in to preserve the beer. And then the pH, like the basic powder you throw in, whatever the fuck that bicarb is or whatever, to get your pH balance back normal. I can taste all that shit, and I don't like additives in beer, so I generally just add 8 ounces of hops now to a 5-gallon batch. Beerzerker! This beer's a fucking 9, no question. Unless I don't know, unless you totally hate hops. Citrusy, tangy, kind of neat. Beerzerker! And I'm out. Yeah.